Hey Kenny, this is Adrian. Back into your back leg squat. You're down into about 108 degrees, which is, pretty typical of catchers. We want to be in the low hundreds. So, that is not bad. What I really want to look at, though, is your back foot. And you can see your back foot, how it sets up. And your foot is actually turned, it's actually going behind you in this direction. What needs to happen is this foot needs to turn inside at 45 degrees. You're actually over-rotating too much with your back foot. It actually can be simpler. And that's going to lead to a lot of power out of the back leg, because what happens is you put your foot here and now your knee is over your ankle. What that does is it puts your knee at a disadvantage. What I'd like to see is that your knee gets inside of this ankle so that everything can push a lot faster. You're going to get inside of that hip, or that the knee's going to get inside the ankle. Your hip's going to get early push, and then that's going to lead to your chest and your release point out in front. When you do that, you maximize your power. So moving into the next measurement is, I measured it last time, it was like 76 degrees. I want to be at about 100. So that's about 79. That's not bad. But we want to be at 100. What that means is that we need your front leg to extend a little bit further. The reason why your leg isn't traveling as far is because your knee's not really inside your ankle, and your back foot's at a disadvantage. So 79, I'd like to see this front foot extend a little bit further. Let's see here. I don't know why I can't draw. So this is going to go out just a little bit further, but it all stems from the back foot. So now let's get into the front knee. As you plant, and this is what I talked about earlier, as you plant, the angle of your foot is fine, but the angle of your knee inside of your ankle is not. This needs to be changed. What happens is when you plant, and I'll show you here, your hips will not rotate until the knee gets over the ankle. You're talking about a 29-degree change. That is a huge rotational problem with your lower half. And that is the main reason why your upper body has to go up to come through. It's compensating for the knee. So if you want to speed up your upper half, well, your lower half is very non-functional right now. It's very rotational. And your lower half needs to be directional. What that means is you need to drive more towards your target and be less rotational with your lower half, especially your front side. So you'll see it plant and watch the knee. You have to wait until that knee gets over the ankle. Now your chest can come through. Now your hips can come through. And by that time, you're a little bit late. And your leg's off the ground. So what happens is you haven't even released the ball and your leg has come off the ground. We're trying to throw the ball with your chest, and your leg's actually not on the ground. And what the leg does is it provides stability to extend your chest. So I'd like to see your chest extension a little bit further. We'll talk about that later. It's what we call a triple extension. If the back leg's not on the ground, that ground force contact is going to be very, very difficult to transfer energy. So you can see how your leg comes off and you rotate around it. And you're probably a great thrower now, but if we make these changes, you're going to be the best. Okay, so now let's work on release point. Looks like you're releasing the ball over your. It's a little bit blurry. It's right over that foot. We want to release that ball past your foot. There's a combination of a few problems. Number one, your back leg is not on the ground, so it can't allow your hips to rotate. And the back leg is not down, and so it can't allow your chest to rotate forward. And so with that, you're missing a lot of power, and you're missing the mechanics to keep your body behind it. So when you plant that front knee, it stays at 132 degrees, which is not bad. But what happens is we want this knee, you can actually see the heel up and rotating. The reason why that front foot is up and rotating is because that knee is rotating from internally rotated to right over that ankle. So what needs to happen is this front knee needs to learn how to retract. You can see all the major league catchers and how their knee retracts and their chest rotates over. So you're going to get better chest extension if your knee can retract, and we can teach you how to do that. So I'd say your release point right now is at a marginal level. Marginal means it's right in the middle, and we want to get you late launch. So it's a little bit too early. The earlier is not good. We want to be late. Okay. So we've talked about your lower half. Now we need to worry about your upper half. So let's look at stacking. So from here, this knee needs to be inside, ankle needs to be inside, and that's the first part of the stack, the lower half. The upper half is going to stack back. Basically, this head is going to be over that ankle as long as possible. That's going to allow the upper body to rotate through, to extend a little bit for, instead of 79 degrees, it'd be 100 degrees. And then when you're ready to drive, you're going to drive that chest and throw with your body. So stacking. So let's look at your front glove. Your front glove, we just finished with stacking, and so watch where your arm goes. Your arm goes straight down, and that's what's going to put your head into a spin. And you're rotating, instead of rotating around your body, you're really tilting. Another reason why your head's tilting this way as well is because of your knee. So your knee is too far inside your ankle, and so you're compensating for that, and your chest has to compensate as well. So what you do on the lower half affects your upper half, and that's how you're going to start getting better at throwing, little by little. It's just understanding those relationships. So front glove goes too far down. What I'd like to see is front glove comes here. That's good. It's not bad, but it needs to continue to pinch and rotate. The difference between, I think, men and women are the scat pinches, the ability to pinch both of the shoulder blades. You'll see a big difference in college softball players at shortstops. Actually, you'll see similarities between shortstops, girls who throw the hardest, and those men that throw the hardest. They have better scat pinches. So we're going to teach you how to do that. So the front glove needs to be firmer, and you notice where it goes straight down. So when your arm goes down here, your chest has nowhere else to go but to follow it. So you're creating this symmetry. What comes up must go down, and what goes down must come up. So it's very symmetrical. How do I change that high arm symmetry? Well, I change my front glove. So front glove needs work on it. We're going to get into the elbow. Measure both of your shoulders. Both of your shoulders off of here. It's about 182, which is not bad. It's we want to stay at about 180 degrees, so we have just a tiny elevated distal humerus, so it's just a little bit elevated elbow. Not too big of a deal. So now let's get into So no issues with the elbow. It's not a high elbow. Let's look at chest extension. So again, the chest extension is not going to get better until your leg can stay on the ground a little bit longer. You're at 33 degrees. What I'd like to see is at least 40 to about 45 degrees. And that's what is going to allow you to have a later release point, carry less stress in your shoulder and elbow, and to be able to speed up your arm. So instead of coming through, your arm is bent. It's going from bent to straight, and then now it bends through. So we want to speed up that pronation. If we can speed up that pronation, a lot of it has to do with your head going this way. And so in order for you to speed this up and to keep this elbow bent, we've got to stop drifting this way. And we've got to get you to drive with your chest further from 33 to 45. And that's going to be the improvement that is going to speed up this elbow and wrist and keep it bent the whole time. And it's going to give you less of a tilt. Also, the knee inside. Again, the knee is going to affect this. So if you can get more on time with that, we have drills specifically to fix that, and that's going to help a ton. Let's look at your back shoulder pinch. It's pinched pretty well, but we could pinch it better because I can't see your elbow, your back elbow. I just see your hair. I should see both your elbows from this position. So all in all, you're doing well, but there are specific things that you need to work on that are going to help you become the best thrower in the state and in the nation. And if you can make these adjustments online, we have a $16 a month online subscription. If you can do that and work through the drills daily, 1 or 2 drills, take care of your arm care, and do the balls. All of our balls are on Amazon. Everything is available to you. And then, not to mention, you can come visit us at the camps as well. So thanks so much.